Gareth. Show us the path to salvation. Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment. Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing. Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead.
I remember this one. His name was Kerbin.
Blessings to our
His friend's sword couldn't
Pray
save
that
him,
they may find
it would
rest.
appear.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive. Yes, we certainly had better, but the ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
You're welcome to try, though I doubt it'll help.
What Gareth means to say is don't bother. Livewood will only move when it wants to, or in this tub's case, when it's forced to. That's right. The ship's made of an elven ancestor tree, the spirit of which is still trapped in every plank. What we need is a way to control the bloody thing.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they? That's the spirit.
The ship creaks beneath you. Somewhere on board, there must be a way to get it moving.
We bested the Magisters, but they've more ships in their fleet. So let's get this show on the road on the double.
This was a Magister ship. Let's proceed with caution. Who knows what they have hidden away below decks?
I was just getting used to this seafaring life. You know, we could... From the look in your eye, I gather it's time to grab my things and get back to work. Ready? We'd probably get tired of this view soon enough anyway.
The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something.
There's something to these doors I'm not seeing. But what?
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade. There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
Speak to me if you're looking for hired help. So, what'll it be?
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or amulet had made a mark there. The face vanishes. The anguished face appears, then vanishes. The door remains closed.
We've braved the joy, and I lust for further adventure. What say you? Shall we continue our journey together?
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort...
Can't you say anything else? Bloody Magisters.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the Bloody Divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
I wish. No, the Magisters kept me chained to the bulkhead. Arms held above me head, feet barely able to touch the deck. Now my joints are paying the price. No, they had us stand below, chained up in the dark. But the Reds were up to something in here. Maybe it was just the lack of food and rest playing tricks, but I swear I heard chanting and horrible moaning coming from here. But when we broke free, it was empty. Or a big bloody target on our backs. We took their leader and their flagship. The Hammer won't stand for that. She'll be hunting for us.
The Seeker throws a toxic look at the imprisoned Magister.
Hardly. She's just some deckhand. If it were up to me, I'd tie her to the main mast and use her for arrow practice. But Malady wants her alive for now. Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold. And the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just... don't make me regret it. Hope you find something useful.
A young Magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. The Magister's stare hardens into an intense scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine. Prisoner or not, I swore an oath. Touch him again, and I'll kill you.
If it
I
were
warned
up
you
to
not
me,
to touch.
you'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Ifan grabs you by the sleeve, not hard, but insistent.
Let me work on him. I've got questions that need answers. Answers I can only get from him.
Ifan approaches Alexander, who lies flat on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, Alexander's eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Ifan grabs him by the jaw and shakes, violently. Alexander's face contorts with agony and his eyes flutter, yet he doesn't return to consciousness.
Why did you trigger the death fog before the elves had a chance to escape? Why? Why?
No matter how loud Ifan shouts his questions, there is no response from the unconscious Alexander. He reaches his arm back, and you realize he intends to punch Alexander in the face. As if waking from a dream, he turns to you, disoriented. Hesitantly, he drops his fist until it hangs loosely by his side. Sheepish now, he scratches the side of his head with his other hand.
You're right there.
With a nod, Ifan strides away. Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch. The Seeker has removed one of her gauntlets in order to flex her wrist. It bears inflamed marks from where shackles bit into her. She sees you.
You must be starved for company to linger around here, friend. Don't worry. As soon as she changes her tune, you'll know about it. You and half of Rivellon, friend. But no, he hasn't made a sound. He'll be in for a rude awakening when he does come to.
What's this? I found something.
The door remains unmarked. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password. Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Just one more moment, please.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks? Armor? Such a limiting word, but yes. It serves that purpose, amongst others. Dallas has been keeping me prisoner here, but I try to keep working on my own projects when I can. Dallas took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding. Until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems. Oh, yes. And she could be a most cruel mistress, I'm sad to report.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process. Well, the situation is looking immeasurably better now. You'll hear no more complaints from me. So why don't you tell me all about my valiant rescuers? To whom do I owe my thanks? You undersell yourself. The roster of those who stood up to the Magisters and lived to tell the tale is a short one. I ought to continue what I'm doing here, unless there was anything else. Despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire the woman a little. She's unwavering. She will break before she bends. If you cross paths with her, be sure to break her. I doubt you will get another chance. Took it? No, I made it. Have you seen the kind of metalwork the Magisters deploy? This is in a different class to them. As I said, the Magisters left me weakened. But this will help give me the strength to carry on my work. Dallas didn't tell me anything if she could avoid it, but I did overhear her practicing an ancient lizard dialect. Significant, perhaps, don't you think? Indeed. Perhaps you should look about. There might be something of the sort that you could use to that effect. Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchant a dead cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
But that damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur. No! Necromancy is an unsavory practice, not something to be trifled with lightly. This is but a cunning illusion of my own creation, nothing more.
His face abruptly creases into a smile.
But come now. Enough of Dallas and dead cats. You've taken this ship and granted my freedom. This is a happy moment. I'm afraid I cannot tell you what I do not remember. Could you pass me that copper wire just there?
He takes the copper with a nod of gratitude. His sleeve slips back, above his elbow. In its crook, you see part of a tattoo. A pattern of concentric circles rendered in black.
Perhaps my memory will come back with time. But for now, I'm afraid there's little more I can add. I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this? I'm more than a sum of my parts friend indeed. But I fear you might have come to the wrong calculation about me. How about you just let this matter rest?
The Seekers are too trusting by half. We can't just let this healer go free.
Anyone who faced enslavement deserves our sympathy, not our blades. Leave him.
He takes your hand in his gauntlet-clad fist and shakes it. There's a lot more power in his grip than his slender frame would suggest.
Call me Tarquin, and consider me at your service. We're barely acquainted. Why should I tell you anything personal?
A flicker of hesitation crosses Tarquin's face. He glances down to his wasted limbs.
You're most persistent. Perhaps our paths will pit us both against the hammer. We will see. But don't claim me as an ally just yet. My allies tend to die. There's likely not a soul aboard this ship without secrets they'd rather keep hidden. Why should I face more scrutiny than the rest? Unanswered questions are a challenge, my friend. Where's the fun in easy answers? If you're so convinced that I'm hiding something, come up with a hypothesis. Then we can talk.
What's this? I found something.
I've spotted something. This is written in ancient lizard script. It appears to be a song. This looks like a teleporter pyramid. It could certainly come in handy.
A teleporter pyramid? Only one way to find out if it works. Try using it.
I'm a monster. I click and clack as I stalk my prey. My tail rattles like a snake. I suffer. Don't touch me. My very being is a curse. Was Tarquin that wretch, that rat? I ate an ill mouse and passed in my sleep, and the brooding boar brought me back on a lark. Me miserable. No, 'tis ignoble to wish for death, but ask it from another's hand. Mumsy? Is she here? Mumsy, where are you? 'Tis I, Booply Bear. I am quite changed, but don't be frightened. You? She sent you?
The cat begins to purr and rub itself on your ankles.
Any friend to Mumsy is a friend to me. I believe the song is around here somewhere. The song, of course. Trouble not my weary mind with duncery.
The cat purrs, an eerie clicking sound.
Tell Mumsy to come back soon. Now that I am but bone, I'm too light to trip the moving door. I'm sure there's a rat back there.
Another pyramid.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber. A deep sigh emerges, unmistakably the sound of a living being.
Turned into the slaves of warmongers.
You are not the witch. You are not Dallas. You sang the song. Now you must decide my fate. Are you to be my new mistress? You are kind, but I can never be free again. Not truly. I am a vessel and must be guided. Let me take you wherever you wish. We can depart as soon as you are ready. Ask. I am here to serve in all ways. Sacrifice must be made willingly. Our home was stolen from us. Magisters destroyed our way of life to end the war they started. Then they uprooted me, and they tore me apart and turned me into this monstrosity.
The creaking of the ship eases into a contemplative silence.
Once, I was an elf. I passed away and was reborn as an ancestor tree. In a beautiful forest surrounded by kin of both flesh and root. But that time has passed. I saw that forest reduced to a dead place. Then I was taken away. My memories were lost, like the leaves from my branches. Of course. Wherever there is sea, I will endeavor to bring you. Consult with your companions and set a course.
The ship's awake. Good. Is she ready to sail? Dying to hear them. Meister Siva is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. We'd better not leave her waiting. She's a bit particular. She's the founder of these Seekers, and she's powerful. That means something when I say it. Your kind can reach astounding heights. Meister Siva can help you do just that. A place called Driftwood hosts to putrid fish, putrid dwarves, and Meister Siva herself. You'll probably find it quite comfortable.
There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us.
Well, what have we here? The ship's alive, isn't she?
A slow, toothless smile stretches across her face.
To Driftwood, then. Be quick, make no mistake, the Order will be upon us in due time.
Turned into the slaves of warmongers.